Hello students, in this lecture video I'll be discussing about sexual reproduction, why is it required and how sexual reproduction takes place in flowering plants. So there are certain limitations of asexual mode of reproduction, and the main limitation is variations in any population. So every organism, whether we talk about survival of species or of an individual, variations become very important. In case of sexual mode of reproduction, there are two parents. So the maternal and paternal DNA can carry out the variation process. And then in the offspring, we can have the fittest DNA, which is the survival of the fittest. So that is why the bad effects will not be taken care of, only the positive effects will be transmitted from one generation to another. Now, in case of sexual reproduction, there are formation of germ cells or gametes. So this will help in maintaining the number of chromosomes and the DNA content in the new generation. So germ cell will have half the amount of DNA, and when it will fuse with the both the cells, means the male gamete and female gamete will be having half the amount of DNA or half number of chromosomes. When they will fuse, then they are going to retain the number. So let us talk about sexual reproduction in flowering plants. I'm just zooming in. You can see this is the longitudinal section of flower. Very important diagram for your boards. Now, the green leafy part is referred to as sepals. The colored part is referred to as petals. These are accessory organs. These exactly do not participate in sexual reproduction. Main is the male part and the female reproductive part. So this one over here, where you can see a bilobed anther and a filament, that is stamen, which is the male reproductive organ. In case of female reproductive organ, it consists of three parts: stigma, which is sticky in nature, style, and then ovary that contains the female gamete. Together, stigma, style, and ovary is referred to as pistil, and a combination of pistils can be called as carpel. So this flower which you have seen contains both male and female reproductive organ. So this type of flower is referred to as a bisexual flower. If in case of certain flowers like papaya and watermelon, either it will contain stamen or carpel, that is pistil, either of them. So only one of them will be there. Then it is called as a unisexual flower. So let us see how in flowering plants, how this germination process or sexual reproduction takes place. Here again, this diagram is very important for both point of view. See, over here the female reproductive organ is shown. This is stigma, which is sticky in nature, I told you. And on the stigma, what will be released? Pollen will be transferred. What are pollen? We talked about anthers. That is part of stamen, male reproductive organ. Anthers contain these pollen grains, which will fall on the stigma. So the process by which these pollen will be transferred from one plant to the other stigma, okay, or in the same flower also this can happen in case of bisexual flower. That process is referred to as pollination. Now, what will happen under favorable circumstances? Only one of the pollen grain will germinate. Means you can see this germination tube or pollen tube, which will contain male germ cell. This pollen grain will divide and the male germ cell will be formed. Now, through this, it will enter through one opening in the ovary which contains the female gamete. There will be fusion of male and female gamete, which is referred to as fertilization. So fertilization process, the end result would be formation of a zygote. Okay, so once zygote has been formed, we will see that zygote will divide several times and it will form an embryo within the ovule. Now what happens? The ovule, it is developing into a seed because it has a tough coat, and the ovary will form the fruit. And meanwhile, the other parts, petals, stamen, sepals, style and all, they will fall off. Okay. Now we will see that once the end products of sexual reproduction, that is fruit and seed, is formed, what happens? Again, I'm zooming in. This is one seed which is shown over here. The covering of seed is called as cotyledon, which stores the food for helping the seed to germinate. We can see over here one slight protuberance. So the future shoot or plumule is formed and the future root, that is radicle, will be formed. So again, point to remember, from the plumule, shoots are going to arise through seed germination, and from the radicle, future root is going to arise.